Good afternoon. I know it's been a while, but life happens, stuff gets busy, and things get in the way of life plans. But I really wanted to talk about something that I get asked all the time. Food. What do I eat? Food is such a science experiment. It's one of those things. I've spoken about cravings, and yeah, the quality wasn't awesome. Sorry about that. I'll probably end up doing another one of those again soon. But we're really facing a whole shift in paradigm of what we understand about food. And we're really moving away from that calorie model where a calorie is a calorie. And fundamentally, when you break the basics down, a calorie is not a calorie. To measure calories, we burn something in a lab, and the heat that it gives off, we go, that's its kilojoule or a calorie amount. But when we put that into the human body, the way that my body digests and burns food is going to be very different from the way that your body digests and burns food. My digestive fire and what works really well for me is super dependent on me, my lifestyle, my genetics, where I came from, my stress levels, how well I sleep, whether I exercise. It's so dependent, and to be able to say that 100 calories from an apple versus 100 calories from a low-fat muffin is going to be the same. When you think about it, it's pretty ridiculous. So these point systems, that's why people yo-yo. It's not about I'm eating 1,200 calories, or I'm eating 1,400 calories, because you could eat 1,200 calories of rubbish food, highly processed shit that comes out of a packet, or you could eat 1,200 calories of pure fat. They're going to act very differently in your system. And what we're now understanding is, and particularly what I really work with, is outside of that calorie model, what can I eat that's going to give my body maximum benefit? When I'm really looking at making myself optimally healthy, what do I put in my body to tick those boxes? And for me, and for people out there who watch this who have known me over however many years, know that I struggled with my weight for many, many years of my life. My 20s saw me hit a record high of 96 kilos and a record low of 47 kilos. I have made all the mistakes. I was a binge eater. I would eat till I would vomit. I would starve myself. I would abuse laxatives. I used to exercise 4 hours a day. I ate artificial sweeteners. I put like NutraSweet and sucralose in everything because I was convinced that that was what was going to make me thin. And I would wrestle with food. I could never stop thinking about it, and it was something that was such a pain in my life. I tried every diet. I tried every detox. I used to get anything out of a packet. And I didn't realize that I was destroying my body. I was filling it full of stuff which was not satisfying. I wasn't giving my body any nutrients, any vitamins, any minerals, any essential fatty acids, any amino acids. I wasn't allowing my body to repair or to function on any level of health. And I had psoriasis, like all through my scalp, all down the front of my legs. For my friends and family who remember that, oh my goodness, that psoriasis on my legs was so embarrassing. Particularly when I started studying to become a naturopath, I tried everything, but I never really looked at it in a way of what can I give my body so that my nutrient stores are healed and all the boxes are ticked, and my body has everything that it needs to say, hey, let's go down and repair this. Because I never thought about it like that. Nobody ever taught it to me like that. Food was a punishment for me. I rewarded myself with food and I punished myself with food. And will always be on a journey with food. I love food now. My idea of food has completely shifted as I've shifted. And, food for me is all about quality. What is the best possible food I can give my body so that it regenerates? I don't want to degenerate. I'm healthier at 34 than I was at any point during my 20s. I have more vibrant energy. I sleep better. I don't pop or crack, or my movement is fluid. My psoriasis is all but gone. I now go to the toilet more than once a week. I remember when doctors told me that going to the bathroom once every 7 days was just my normal. It's not normal. Clearing food when you eat it is normal. Allowing your body to get what it needs out of food and to eliminate what it doesn't need is normal. And finding that balance is very different for everybody. As I said, it's all relative to a whole lot of circumstances. Where I find myself right now, having gone through, as I said, I was vegan, I was raw, I low fat, high protein, juicing, smoothies, I did it all. I've come to sort of realize that for me, while I do very well off protein, there's a limit, because protein in a lot of people can overload the kidneys, and I definitely had some protein overloads where I felt like somebody was just kicking me in the back. I just had terrible back pain, which was kidney pain, because it wasn't eliminating all these proteins that I was eating. And fats, fats for me have been a game changer, and good quality fats in avocados. I can't do nuts very well. Nuts just don't sit with me, and I've tried activated nuts. I can have a very small amount, but it doesn't react well with me, particularly when I pair nuts and the beans and legume family together. Beans, lentils, legumes, I cannot digest. I get very bloated, really gassy, really bad pains. Just not what my body likes. When I pair nuts and those things together, my psoriasis comes out. So I know that that's not great. If I pair those two together and I have something from the nightshade family, so tomatoes, potatoes, eggplants, capsicum, chili, fire skin. I get this thing on the outside of my ankle where it's like so itchy, so itchy. If I then pair salicylates on top of that, or something like red wine, sort of really cheap cheese, good quality cheese, it's been aged really well, I tend to not have an issue with, but just a regular old cheap cheese. If I pair these all together in my system, I get fire skin and my digestive system shuts down and I really start to fatigue. I don't do well on a lot of carbohydrates. Fruit, if I eat fruit, I will eat all day. I am never satisfied by fruit. I will be looking around for food all day if I eat fruit. So for me, and fruit's changed. Fruit's not what it used to be. Fruit's been hybridized to have maximum sweetness. If you look back at varieties of heirloom apples, they were quite small and very tart. Bananas, like plantains, not very sugary, very starchy. And completely different. So what we now know as our regular seasonal fruits are not what we really grew up with. And I know for me personally, when I do eat like a carbohydrate meal, and carbohydrates are a carbon molecule with 3 sugars, like a glycerol backbone, which dissociate into, lots of things in our body use carbon, and then we've got 3 sugars that then go to work to do whatever. And there's some recent research that comes out, and we can see this as well, that says sugar is a bit of a toxin for us. Outside of what we know with sugar and addiction, the reason that our body burns sugar, what we used to think is a preferable source of energy, there's a couple of schools of thought that say that sugar, the reason the body burns sugar so quickly is because it wants to get it out of there ASAP. It'll take it up through the muscles, take it up through the liver, it'll burn glucose in our brain, and it wants to get it out of there as quick as possible, because fats, good quality fats, are a preferred fuel source. And I know personally with me, when I eat sugars and carbohydrates, I get a little bit of a boop, and within 20 minutes, I am struggling to maintain focus. I want to go to sleep. I just want to sit down. My energy levels just... And I generally don't feel as vibrantly energetic as what I can feel, what I know I can feel.